FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.
Welcome. You are listening to the Financial Survival Network. I'm Kerry Lutz, and we're back with Mike Gazzola. Mike, you know, every time I talk to you, you've got another success story about one of your students who is totally crushing it. But the one you just told me about, that woman who never sold anything in her life and had an amazing first day, I think it's the best story I've ever heard about this.
Yeah. And to me, it's not even so much when they have such an amazing day, like several thousand on their very first day. What's really cool is with the power of the mastermind. And we are just kind of going through it right now, just kind of checking it out. And it's pretty amazing how many people, how many students in the inner circle are making top new release, making that category, which is really cool because then Amazon puts you even higher. And it's just kind of a snowball effect. But going through, I always tell everybody that, the benchmark when you should start looking to source more products. So if you start with 1 or 2 products, the benchmark where you should start to look at launching your next product and your next product, you want to get to about $1,000 a day with an existing product, because it's much easier to focus on launching more products than trying to get from 1,000 to 2,000 a day, right? Because to me, it's like you take one product, it does really well. Another product might only initially get you $200 a day, $300 might only be $100 a day. But the more products that you have and the more products that are selling independently and bringing in new customers for you, the better you're going to do. And, we saw a couple students that did over $30,000 in a month. One guy did over $100,000 his first 3 months.
Oh my goodness.
It's pretty cool. And, this is them posting their results. And that's what I love, because people that are brand new, it's really inspiring when you see fellow people in our mastermind, part of the inner circle, and you see when they started, because it's cool. You can kind of see the timeline. You say, wow, okay, so they started at nothing, no experience, no previous knowledge, but they had the drive, they had the hunger. And now they're hitting that $1,000 a day and exceeding that $1,000 a day. Jamie's a great example. And some people had been selling on Amazon, I would say under 10%, but some people were already selling on Amazon, just not having really good success, and then joined the group. And that's what I loved, is that, like someone like Jamie, who just was only making $100, $200 a day. And then when they post that they're now doing over $1,000 a day, or the first time that they have that $1,000 a day, they're so excited and they're sending you messages like, hey, check it out. Check out my back office screenshot. I finally hit the $1,000 a day. And then you see that they do a $2,000 day and a $3,000 day. But now okay, let me shift my focus. Obviously, I'm not going to neglect that product that's doing very well.
No.
But now let's duplicate that. Let's do that on another product and another product. And once you have the tools and you have the process, your second product is obviously much easier to launch than your first. Your third is easier than your first and second. And then your fourth, fifth, and sixth, it's easier than 4, 5, and 6 are easier than one product you launched, right? And that's what's so fun. And that's what I love watching. And, you saw a really good one too, in the mastermind, how well, like right out of the gate.
Oh God. Yeah. That one was, I think, who was it? Chris. Here. Just want to share my short story. We passed our first 30 mark yesterday, and we are very happy with the progress. We have moved a third of our inventory. This is the first month, and we're on our way to putting in another order for more product, plus 2 more products that will complement our first. And we're currently ranked on page 1 for one of the biggest keywords in our niche, and we're basically only doing organic sales, which means people searching and finding them. And they're doing it through Amazon ads, Instagram ads, we didn't even talk about that, Facebook ads, averaging 10 a day, and all these things that are just happening. And he's way ahead of where he expected to be for his first 3 months of doing products here.
Yeah, and that's what I love. And just for the for the sake of the group, because we all share our products in the mastermind, what we're selling, but we don't want just people listening to say, oh, I'm going to go after that product, because it's not that he picked the right product. He used the right methodology to determine the right product. And that's the key. And that's what I want everyone listening to understand is there is no magic product. Like, I'm going to sell that product and do well. It's not the magic product. It's the methodology of finding the right product, which is, number one, does it sell well? Meaning, is it already an existing product that sells well? Number two, can I compete? Meaning, when I look, are there people that are doing over 10, 12, 20, 30 grand a month that have less than 100 reviews or less than 50 reviews? Sometimes you'll see they have less than 10 reviews and they're doing 10, 15, 20,000 a month. And you're wondering, how are they doing so well? Well, they're doing so well, and especially the people in our mastermind, because they have the support of the group. And what a lot of people are doing is they're just following the exact processes and then trying one thing and then trying the second thing, then the third thing. It's like with marketing, you don't have to do everything at once. You could use just one of my tips, which, like using Instagram. You can either do ads or you could do like influencers and I have a whole site for that. That's FameBit, right? If you go on FameBit and you look up Instagram, I call them stars, right? They're not stars like they're a household name, but they're influencers, meaning they have tons and tons of followers. And they will make a video about your product. They will blast out your product to their audience. And it's like, it's getting momentum. It's just hitting that stride. And then once you have a big boost in sales, then you're keywording properly and you're following the basic steps, not even the marketing, you're just following the basic steps of how to make your product searchable on Amazon. Then as you're selling more, you get even a better ranking and a better ranking. And as you're kind of getting that traction, it's a snowball effect where you just continue to get more and more sales. And there's people that are only on the third page, fourth page of Amazon that are doing amazing, that have gotten over that $1,000 a day mark.
Oh, it's pretty impressive to think people start at zero. Nobody gets a head start on Amazon, Mike. Everybody starts at zero, right? And it's how you claw your way up the ladder that differentiates you from the competition.
That's right. I mean, anybody. So like people say, well, how am I going to outrank? How am I going to outmarket the other people that are already there? And it's like some people, they're doing well despite themselves. I'll go through the Amazon listings, just because I love doing it. I love seeing not just the people in the inner circle. I like just seeing listings in general. And I look and I say, gosh, in just 10 minutes, I could probably double their sales. If I just spent 10 minutes working on this listing, or if I just sent them a video or allowed them to attend one of my, Monday webinars where we do it live, it's like, I know what an impact I can make on their sales, because the problem is some people, maybe their goal is only to do $100 a day and they hit that $100 a day, then they do nothing. And then you're just thinking like, my God, but if you just tweaked, if your headline was just more keyword rich, well, what keywords do I pick? Well, that's exactly what I teach you for your niche. How do you find the right keywords? And then you look and you're like, wow, your description is horrible. You have no bullet points. You're not using keywords in your description. You didn't even spell the words properly. And you still see they're doing a couple $100 a day. Yeah. It's like just some minor tweaks can literally change anybody's Amazon business. Just some minor tweaks. And just the power of the over 600 people that are in our private mastermind Facebook group, that's only for people in the inner circle. And there's always 100 people active in the inner circle, but people from a year ago, people from 9 months ago, people from a year and a half ago that are still in the private Facebook group, they still have the same benefit of being part of our mastermind, right? Yeah. So it's really cool that every single week we're going through all the steps of the process live. And then the entire video series that we've already created with our students is all uploaded into the members area. But one of the benefits that I found that people love the most is just having the support of being in a mastermind. And it's so cool. Like you looked and you just see it on the first page of our Facebook group, how many people are just destroying it and exceeding their expectations. It's a good feeling to know that, maybe I just had a small impact on helping them meet their goals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. it's really remarkable to see the progress that so many of your students get. I mean, we've just got story after story after story. Like the person, she did $3,000 her first day. I mean, just amazing. And not that everybody's going to do that, of course, but she had a really good marketing approach and she just crushed it. And it wasn't much of a product either, was it?
No, that's the thing. I mean, sometimes it's some really basic stuff. I mean, one of the China students from the last group, well, I mean, there's always a few, but one that really stands out is, it was just a regular, very basic product, some that I never even considered. But what he did is he went over the top on the packaging. I mean, it was some beautiful, beautiful packaging. And, when I saw it, I was blown away. And it was amazing to see a product that, you wouldn't really think would be a winner, right? But when you analyze it, you see it's a winner. But at face value, somebody said, hey, I sell this. You'd be like, But then when you see the success that the product's having, because he followed the process, did it already sell well? Yes. Can I compete? Yes. Are the margins there? Yes. If you can answer yes to all three of those questions, and the software does it for you, and one of the very first training videos that I send out, it's how to use the Amazon product finder, where all that's doing is scrubbing every category, home and kitchen, pet supplies, whatever categories you want it to scrub, it scrubs through, and it literally shows you whatever criteria you ask for. So I say, I want to see everything with less than 50 reviews. I want to see everything with less than 100 reviews, whatever criteria you want. And then you put in, I want to see only products that are doing at least 10,000 a month. So I want to see that they're doing at least 10,000 a month. I want to see that they have less than 50. I like 50. Some people, 100's not bad either, but I like products that I know getting 50 reviews is pretty easy if you market that product in a methodical, systematic way, right? Getting 50 reviews is not hard. I mean, you can, within a month of launching, there's all different tactics. I mean, you can give away samples. You could, barter with people like, hey, check it out. I'll give you 95% off this product. And you can't ask for a 5-star review. You can never tell somebody, hey, I'll give you this product. You got to review it. But when you give someone a product, especially at a steep discount, it's kind of like they feel like, hey, it's only fair if they like the product, right? I tell people, if you love the product, give me a review. If you don't think it's good enough that I warrant a review, don't, right? But you can't tell people like, hey, I'll give this to you, but you got to give me a review. But if you have a good product and a quality product and you give somebody a really good price, just human nature is to leave you a review, right? And that's kind of cool because it's just your launch pad to help you get started. But, we have 10 different methods for getting reviews, but just overall, the idea is, can I compete? Does it sell well? Or are the margins there? And what's cool is that all you have to do is go through and put in these criterias into the Amazon product finder. And by the way, that's not my software. I don't own it. But what you would want to do is there's the one that's $99 a month, and use it as long as you need it, right? Like once you don't need it, you don't need to pay that monthly fee anymore. Some people say, I want to have that for years. Fine, because they see the value in having that product. Some people are like, I've already found my next 4 or 5 products. I'm going to use it for 2 months and just keep on finding more and more products, make a spreadsheet. And then, but a year from now, you might need more products, right? So it's just a great tool, but that's just the first step, right? Is just finding, does it sell well? Can I compete? Are the margins there? And I like 3 to 4 times gross, because then I know my net is going to be really good. And people say, well, how much net profit are you looking for? And I give them examples, but there is no exact number on the net.
Nothing's exact,
because everything is like, and that's why 3 to 4 times what I can buy it for is what I'm looking for, because I know that there's going to be shipping and things like that. So initially I'm just looking at gross, but then we actually use, there's these calculator tools that I have that actually show, okay, the product costs this much, the shipping fee is going to be this much, and breaks it all down. And then I know, okay, hey, well, based on these numbers, I can afford to spend 50 cents per product, $1 per sale on advertising. Right. So it just kind of enables me, but there's no magic number. Like my fidget spinners, they've really come down a lot. Right. And I've been talking about those, a year, 2 years ago before they were even hot. But the truth is the margins are still there. and they're becoming more and more popular. But it's not like before where they, you would buy it for 60 cents and sell it for $20, right?
No, you're not.
That doesn't happen now.
The salad days are gone.
But at the same time, if you create really good packaging, a really cool logo, everybody sees them now. If you go to 7-Eleven or Circle K
all
or
over.
Any liquor store, any convenience store, you see them on the shelves now, but they're always in that junk packaging. They're always the lowest quality
really
ones.
crummy.
And they're usually $5.99 to $9.99. And and I always ask because, I've lived in the same city for a long time. So I kind of know some of these convenience store owners. So I'll ask them, hey, what'd you pay for that? And normally they'll tell me, oh, yeah, it was $2 to $3.50. And I'm thinking, well, geez, yeah, even if I didn't sell on Amazon, like I could be your distributor. Now, obviously, I don't have the time for that. So I don't mention that. But I just think that in my head. It's like, hey, if I wanted to like hire a sales rep and go to every place, my packaging is better, my logos are better, my product is better, and I can give it to them for a better price. I mean, I could sell tens of thousands of these per week if I wanted to.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. No, these success stories are really powerful. I mean, these are people who, very few of them had ever sold a matchbook online or even something on eBay. They didn't know anything about it. And yet here they are, a few months later, and they're now Amazon entrepreneurs aspiring. They're not just aspiring, they're doing it. It's just amazing.
That's right. And that's part of why I love doing this is because all of these success stories, it's very rewarding. It's like I can make money myself on Amazon and I'm pretty good at it, but it makes it even more powerful when you take somebody that knows nothing about it, show them the same process you went through, show them how to implement it, and then also put in my last, 14, 15 years of internet marketing experience that just enhances the whole Amazon thing. That's all systematized. And watching my students succeed based on these same marketing techniques that I've been using for years, it's a really rewarding experience. But, the success of the students speaks for itself. That's why in the private Facebook group, people are able to share their stories. Because if you're just starting out and you're thinking like, gosh, I'm really apprehensive to jump in with both feet. But then you see countless people like all posting and sharing their stories. It's pretty fun.
Oh, yeah. Hey, one thing that we didn't talk about is one of the major reasons why startup entrepreneurs fail, besides being undercapitalized, which is a lot harder to do here with Amazon because you don't need a tremendous amount of capital, but poor record keeping. They can't get their accounting systems together. They don't know how to manage their inventory, and you lose track of your costs, all these things. And yet, if you just use QuickBooks Online and you combine it with Amazon's back office, their control panel, all those problems go away. You don't need an MBA or a CPA to figure this out. You don't need to be a finance expert. It's all right there in front of you, all the numbers. You just plug them in and you can figure out how fast your inventory is turning over. Amazon tells you how fast your inventory is turning over. And they tell you, look, it's time to order some more because at this rate, you're going to run out in X number of days. And like you mentioned before, one of your biggest mistakes in Amazon wasn't that you had too much inventory. It was that you didn't have enough and you wound up running out, and then your page ranking drops, your sales go down to nothing, and you wind up having to kind of not start over again, but restart. And it's a pain and it's unnecessary. You don't have to do it. With all of these record keeping tools at your disposal, Mike, you really have no excuse not to start this business.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because that's one of the benefits of Amazon is that their sales reports, they're incredible. Not only does it show you your previous sales history, it shows you what you've sold, obviously, on any given day, but it also projects based on the amount of sales you're making per day, how many more days of inventory you have left. So it's just staying ahead of the game. But you're absolutely right. One of the biggest mistakes that cost me thousands and thousands and probably tens of thousands of dollars was running out of inventory, which why it's selling so fast and you're really excited about that, and most products you're looking at, it's roughly a 30-day to 45-day turnaround. My product was about a 7-8 week turnaround. And I started panicking when I saw, because it just happened so fast over a period of 2 weeks, I went from like a 10-week supply to like a 4.5 week supply. So of course I raised the price. It keeps selling really fast. Raise the price even more. It's still selling. Obviously sales volume is dropping, but the problem is that my profits are becoming even better. So, but I just keep raising the price, and I just couldn't keep up. It ended up selling out. And yeah, that was just, now that's one of the things I focus on with the students is, hey guys, make sure you're really on top of this. Understand what your turnaround time is. Understand that, hey, if you hit an incredible sales velocity, you don't want to use what Amazon is saying. If they're saying you have 6 weeks of inventory, you need to jump on this right now, even if you know you can get more in 30 days. Don't do what I did. Take some of your profits and make sure you reorder right now, or before it's too late.
Yeah, time to start panicking. Hey, those are good problems to have, though, Mike. Let's face it. Better that you should be selling a ton and worrying about running out of inventory than the opposite, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I could think of much worse problems you could have than selling too much product too fast. But hey, it is a problem nonetheless. You do want to just be conscious of that. But also, too, the shipping, a lot of the mistakes I've made, it's really cool to be able to transfer that, pass it forward, and then watch people have even more success. A lot of them have had way more success than me in their first 90 days than I did in my first 90 days, just because I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have someone to guide me. Yes, I'd been internet marketing at the time for over 12 years, but I had never sold on Amazon. So, and I didn't have a mentor to tell me what not to do. And I had to kind of wing it. And I made some mistakes the hard way. A lot of them were shipping related and things like that. But once I made those mistakes, then I was able to share not just my successes, but also my mistakes to help people not make the same mistakes that I made. Even though none were catastrophic, I mean, you're talking, every one of them cost me thousands of dollars. So just by when you don't know what you don't know what to look out for. But if somebody can share with you, like, hey, I do know, and I'm telling you, be on the lookout for this. But if you don't know, like if you don't even know that you don't know it, or you don't even know that you should know it, but you don't know it, then that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, well, it's the problems that you don't know, that are bad, but the things that you think you know and you really don't. As Mark Twain said, those are the ones that'll really get you. But the fact is that record keeping, systemization, all of these things that if you were starting up a new business in any other area, brick and mortar, services, whatever, you have to create these systems yourself. You can't just rely on other people to have them. But I think QuickBooks Online's even got an interface with Amazon to load all that data in, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Wow, yeah, no, I'm unfamiliar with the QuickBooks process, but I would believe that they would, just because that's a very common, for beginners, people that aren't accountants or bookkeepers. That's a really common software, of course, QuickBooks. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had an integration with Amazon.
Yeah, I'm almost certain they do. Or there's third-party integrations available. And then you just suck it right into your accounting system and boom, And the other thing, we talked about, to most entrepreneurs failing because of cash flow. Well, Amazon, to some extent is the bank, let's face it, but they don't abuse you. You get paid every 2 weeks for your sales, net of the costs involved. And therefore, you're not waiting until the end of the month for your key customer to send you money. You're getting it. It's regular, predictable cash flow. And you know exactly how much you're going to get. It's not like it's a mystery either.
Yeah, and what's cool is you don't have to prepay them anything. So, a lot of people have that misconception. You don't have to prepay Amazon anything. They take their money out based on the sales. So you're not like, if you say, hey, I want to send 3,000 of this product to you guys, they're not going to say, well, hey, we need some cash for warehousing. We need some cash for you to ship the product here.
Yeah.
They're not going to ask for any of that money up front. They just take what's called the FBA fee, and they take that out of every time you sell a product. So if you send 3,000 there, but you only sell 200 of them this month, you're only paying your expense based on the 200 you sold. And that's just a piece of each sale. So it's a pretty fair deal. It's like most other businesses, it's going to require a huge investment up front instead of just a product investment. Like a product investment, that's your asset, right? So that's not even really an expense. Like something like rent and things that are just, employee salaries. These are all things you're going to pay whether or not you ever make a dollar. The cool thing with Amazon is you send it there and Amazon just takes a piece as you make sales. And that includes the shipping it to the customer. That includes them having it on and facilitating the sale, handling the customer service, being your employees, your distribution center, your shipping and receiving center, everything. And you don't pay them up front for that service. So that's a pretty cool benefit of using Amazon. But everything's not just about Amazon. That's just the low-hanging fruit. There's still other e-commerce sites. There's other methods of selling online. Amazon is just the low-hanging fruit, and it's just a perfect place to start for someone that's just jumping into this style of business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No question. Yep. Here it is. Amazon Sync, Unified QuickBooks App Store. So you can integrate all of Amazon with QuickBooks, QuickBooks Online. Everything is done for you just about. Take a little bit to set it up, but it's easy enough to do. And there's videos, there's YouTubes on it all over the place. We don't talk a lot about accounting for obvious reasons, Mike, but we're dealing with so many new entrepreneurs that you really need to kind of understand this. And there's a whole bunch of services that will move it over from Amazon into your QuickBooks, and then your inventory is tracked in both places, your cash flow, everything, all the important metrics that you track when you're running a business, they're all right there for you.
Yeah, and it's pretty simple because at the end of the year, they send you a 1099 based on, all your sales, and then you have any expenses to offset that, right? So, But just like you were saying, if you use QuickBooks, that could be really easy for you too, because then you could have it all at your fingertips. And, I'm not an accountant and I've never been into accounting. It's just, that's something that doesn't really interest me. To me, that's like something that I much prefer just to have somebody who does it for me. And, for the cost of just having a company do it for me, like it doesn't even make sense to have like a bookkeeper or somebody in-house. And there's no way I'm going to take the time to even use QuickBooks and all that. But for those of you that just want to cut out the middleman, I mean, that's a great way to do it too.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's simple, easy to do. So get started now. Go over to AmazonSecrets.net. Everything you need to be successful at selling on Amazon and online in general is there for free. You don't have to pay anything. I'm not asking for anything. Mike is very happy just to pass the info along to you. If you want to arrange to take a trip to China with Mike and the team, or if you want to accelerate your learning and your implementation, there's options available. Put in the application and Mike will contact you. But just go over to AmazonSecrets.net. It's all you have to do. No credit cards, no wire transfers. Just start watching the videos now, and then you can figure out what to do. Anyway, that's it for now, Mike. We will catch up with you later, and be well.
We'll talk soon.
FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to FinancialSurvivalNetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.